Hey, this is Lucas and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a lot of bullish news for XRP and other XRPL tokens. We're going to look at Novatti issuing stablecoins on XRP and XLM. We're going to see XRP has a new project with SBI. We're also going to be taking a look at some thoughts from Giancarlo about utility and controlled demolition. But first, we'll get into some Sologenic and Casino Coin news. So stick around and I'll see you on the other side. And in a tweet from Sologenic, we see that Sologenic has the opportunity to be listed on Bybit Official this August 19th. I think I have said on here that Sologenic is one of my favorite XRPL tokens. I think this has huge use case with the NFTs and the tokenization of assets that will be coming to Sologenic. And I love how easy the DEX is to use, especially when you use it with the Zum wallet. And this is some more bullish news for the tokens on the XRPL. We see that On XRP has listed Casino Coin. And why this is such great news is because On XRP has added a fiat on-ramp. In this article, it says one of the XRP ledger's fastest growing projects, On XRP, announced the integration of the Banksa fiat on-ramp technology into its ecosystem. So this is going to allow for quick and easy access to get Casino Coin, which means it's good news for Casino Coin's future price. And we know that August has been a very exciting month for Casino Coin. The token has gone up quite a bit. I think it's gone up 20 or 30% or something, maybe more. But they've had a lot of stuff going on in August. And Jack at QuadJax XRP, who is the marketing general at Casino Coin, lays out a tweet talking about everything that's happened. It says, complete, deposit anything, XRPL cookout, 2 cold, Malta Poker Festival tournament, 2 casino partnerships, On XRP listing, and TI project partnership. Upcoming, new casino partnership tomorrow, AMA Friday, new partnership next Monday, new casino next Tuesday. And they're the only token that I know that is handling the online casino use case, which will be big. And this story just came out, I think it was yesterday. It says, breaking, Michael Burry sells 98% of his stock portfolio. Now that's spooky news because if you know who Michael Burry is, you know how accurate he has been on other large financial events. And if we see Michael James Burry, for those who don't know, is an American investor, hedge fund manager, and physician. He founded the hedge fund Scion Capital, which he ran from 2000 till 2008 before closing it to focus on his personal investments. He is best known for being amongst the first investors to predict and profit from the subprime mortgage crisis that occurred between 2007 and 2010. And for those who still don't know who he is the guy that Christian Bale played in The Big Short. So what does Michael Burry know that we don't know? Should we be listening to him or keep doing what we're doing? I know that I'm thinking about it. We know that we are headed for some type of a market crash in the future. When it happens, we don't know, but maybe Michael Burry does. And I do want to go over this story. I think this ESG stuff that is out is very important, not only for investing, but in other sectors of the market. But I also believe that it's very important for cryptocurrency because we know that there are tokens like EWT and some others that are going to be working with this ESG agenda through decarbonization. Either way, Florida, it says here from a tweet from Glenn Beck, it says that Florida is putting up a wall against ESG, and Governor Ron DeSantis tells me he's calling on other states to join. So let's take a look at this clip.
How are you fighting it in Florida?
So we got all our proxy rights back. So when I became governor, good. BlackRock was voting Florida's proxy rights. So we have all our proxy rights back. The next board of administration meeting.
Hang on, explain that for the average person so they know how powerful that is and what that means.
So when you own stock, you have the ability to vote as shareholders. Now, an individual, even people that are very wealthy, likely aren't going to own enough to make a huge difference. But a state of Florida with almost a $200 billion pension, that's some significant voting rights. And then if you pool those with other red states, you're talking about really making an impact. The default was these asset managers were just voting those shares. So they were voting those according to their political preferences. So we took those back. we do not allow them to vote our shares. We're going to be implementing a rule on August 23rd with our state board of administration, which is saying you're not allowed to do ESG. That's going to set us up in the next legislative session to codify that in statute. And so it's going to make a big splash because we're a big pension system. And some of these businesses are going to have to choose between going down the ESG rabbit hole or being able to be invested with the state of Florida. And I think what you're going to see is a lot of other states also get on this bandwagon. What I'd like to see is them all do statutory changes that puts the wall up against ESG, but then us vote our shares together, because if we pooled our voting rights together, we would be able to counteract what California and New York and a lot of these other pension plans are doing.
So what are your thoughts on this ESG thing? Are you for it? Are you against it? Do you think it's just going to wreck our economy and our investments? We know that also that not only is Florida fighting it, but we've also covered on how West Virginia is fighting it as well. So let me know in the comments what you think. I'm curious to know how people feel about this, and if the majority of people out there are truly for ESG, or if the majority is truly for letting people have freedom in their financial decisions. So let's start with this. The last few years in the crypto market has been nothing but speculation. People made a lot of money with this speculation, but it was just that. It was speculation. We haven't seen true utility start yet, but we're getting ready to. And we're going to see the market morph from which coin has the most speculation into which coin has the most utility. And I think there's going to be a fight for investor money in this crypto space. And the fight's going to turn out to be who has the most utility. And these tokens will race to see how much utility their token can have. So we start with this tweet here by Bull Dip. It is a tweet with Peter Cook, the Novatti CEO, talking about stablecoins launching on XLM, XRP, and Ethereum. Let's check it out.
Yeah. So Stellar we've worked with in the past. They really very much a cross-border payments network, and in fact there's quite a nearly an altruistic element to some of the aims of Stellar about improving finance in developing nations and just improving the whole efficiency of global payments. The Stellar network has got a number of stable coins that work on it, and in fact USDC, which is a fiat-backed stable coin out of the US, one of the networks they use is Stellar. But anyway, with Stellar, we negotiated with Stellar. They've actually helped fund some of our technology development and marketing, and we are launching initially on their blockchain. We are then making it a multi-chain solution, and will then shortly thereafter launch on the Ripple network. And then we are negotiating with a couple of other networks, Ethereum network. We will also go on to. There is a bit of an issue at the moment in what they call gas fees on the Ethereum network. It does bring the advantage of smart contracts, which are sort of nearly innately part of the Ethereum network. Stellar and Ripple are adding smart contracts to their network, so we'll get to them on their networks. But in the end, by making it multi-chain, you're actually just meeting meeting future demands or needs of the global payments community.
So notice he didn't say that we're launching on SHIB, and or notice he didn't say that we're launching our stable coins on Doge. So the whole theme going forward will be utility. If your coin doesn't have it, your coin won't be around in the future. I think this market is going to be mainly focused on utility, and all of my money is going into tokens that have a super amount of utility. And just recently, a day or two ago, we covered how Wells Fargo had listed XRP as a currency alongside of other tokens like Bitcoin Cash. But I wanted everybody just to see this graphic. At Crypto Bull, ITT put out this graphic, And XRP, it says here that XRP is a security and has one flag, the US flag. And then we look at all the places in the world where XRP is not a security. This has to tell you something in what is coming. Now, I wanted to take a look at a couple of tweets that Digital Asset Investor put out. And this first one is no utility, no value. And we see that Giancarlo, who is a former chairman of the CFTC, talks about how important utility is going to be.
But the future of money, the future of value, the future of financial services is in networks, just as the future of everything else that we've learned over the last 30 years is in the values in the network. And I tell people all the time when they come to me and said, I just heard about this great new crypto, whatever coin, what do you think? And I say, well, I really don't know anything about it, but I'll tell you what, if there's not value in the underlying protocol, if you don't think that protocol is going to stand the test of time and have the potential to be one of the 30 or 40 protocols that will eventually power an internet of value around the world, then it's just for speculation purposes. And maybe next month it'll be up and maybe it's worth, but I wouldn't place a long-term bet on it.
We're going to see soon, I think it's going to be soon, we're going to see some regulation or we're going to see some legislation that is really going to stop the issuing of just tens of thousands of tokens. If you think that we're going to be here 5 years in the future and there's going to be 100,000 or 200,000 tokens, it's not going to happen. There's going to be a handful of protocols, and all the money that we see in the crypto space now will flow into those main tokens. And in this next clip, we see Giancarlo talk about controlled demolition. Let's take a listen.
Real hardship around the world. We're going to see real hardship around the world. The UN is saying we're looking at hundreds of million people maybe in starvation. Jamie Dimon has said a hurricane is coming. I think it's a force 5 tsunami. I think it's going to do a lot of destruction, but creative destruction, right? We need to destroy a lot of flawed models, a lot of flawed thinking, a lot of flawed policy responses. And once we get through that, I have no doubt the future of finance will be digital, will be networked. We're going to see.
What we're going to see is the entire world market melt down, and that is going to allow them to reboot us into a digital system. And if anybody can remember the Economist magazine that talked about a future one world currency, and the graphic showed a phoenix, this is what they're talking about. They knew 40 or 50 years ago, I think it was 40 years ago in the 80s, they knew that this financial system would have to come to a halt or have to come to an end before they could go into a new system. And that's what that cover on the Economist magazine represents. It represents a phoenix coming out of destruction. And that's what these guys are talking about. They're in the know. And in this last bit of Ripple news, we see that Ripple partners with largest Japanese money provider in a new inter-Asian project. And what this is crypto company Ripple announced the launch of a new joint project with SBI Remit to streamline Japan-Thailand money transfers. Under the project, SBI Remit, Japan's largest payment provider, will allow Thais living in Japan to instantly send money back home using RippleNet technology. Siam Commercial Bank will represent the Thai side in this venture. So we're seeing that Ripple's footprint into these markets just continues to grow day by day. So it makes you wonder what is going on here in the US. Why are we attacking an emerging market like cryptocurrency when we know the importance of these technology will have in the future? What are your thoughts about this? Do you think that the SEC has just gone rogue and it's acting on the behalf of large investors who want the flow of money redirected to the East? Why hasn't our Congress stepped up on this urgent problem? Has greed and fighting just completely taken over American politics, leaving really big problems not getting fixed? Or is it all of the above? Is it all of this stuff? Is the SEC going rogue? Is our politics consumed with greed and fighting? I really want to know what your opinion is, so let me know in the comments. And also, please like and subscribe. And until next time, take care.